I feel like the trick-or-treating was light this year.
I think, yeah.
I feel like it's kind of something that might inevitably die off. Like, I just don't see trick-or-treating being like a thing that like sticks around for too much longer.
It's definitely in like big, huge housing developments, you know, like all these ones that pop up real fast.
Mm-hmm.
It tends to be like people are driving children into those areas.
Yeah,
like
I can
it would
see that.
suck ass to live in there. A couple years ago, I went with my whole family to one, and there was a ball field across the street, and it was just cars, and everybody had just walked into this housing development. It was insane.
Oh man, were they giving out the good candies?
They were giving out good candies. They had like adult beverages that you could like. The adults were trick or treating. It was wild.
That's the way to do it.
But man,
that's actually a nice twist on it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you know that it's gonna be like a big thing in your neighborhood, to have it also like, hey, you want a cocktail? Like, you know what I mean? When you give the candy to the kid, you could, to the adult, you want like a cocktail? You know, you're be walking around with these kids for the next 2 hours at least, you know, get one in you. Here's the problem. Every house has cocktails. These people are going to be slamming them back. Then you got to drive your kids back home after that. It's like...
It wasn't like that many.
I know, but it's just a funny thought.
Yeah.
It's funny to think of like some old... fucking white dad being, I thought this was America. He's like all wasted at the end trying to fight the parents. Like, they're like, dude, we got to cut you off. Like, it's like the parents are talking to him like they're bartenders. They're like, we got to cut you off. I thought this was America. He's like all wasted and shit. It's like, yeah, you gave him a Manhattan at every fucking house. He's had a different cocktail. It's like, why not? But I know I didn't even stick around here. I went and hung out at Tracy's house, my best friend's house, and fucking hung out there. And she said in the 6 years that she's lived at that apartment complex, she's never gotten a single person to knock on her door for trick-or-treating.
I wouldn't think about going trick-or-treating at an apartment complex.
Going trick-or-treating at an apartment complex is such low rent. You know what I mean? And on top of that, let's be real, it's 2025. Nobody has a pot to piss in nowadays. Yeah, you go trick-or-treating at an apartment complex, everybody's at work. You know what I mean? It's like nobody's even going to be at home. Every single person in that bitch is struggling to pay the bill. You know what I mean? It's like you can't do it. You just can't trick-or-treat in an apartment complex. I'm telling you that. You heard it here first on Lost Sox Media. You cannot go trick-or-treating in no goddamn apartment complex, okay? Trust me. But speaking of trick-or-treating, that actually brings us to our first little clip of the day. You know what I mean? Mr. Donald J. Trump was giving out the candies on Halloween, right?
At the White House?
At the White House, right? And it's so funny. This person wrote, he fucking did it again, right? They wrote, currently monitoring the trick-or-treating situation at the White House to see if Trump puts candy on top of a minion's head again, right? That's nice. You picture, I almost wanted to like look that up. You picture Trump putting candy on top of a minion's head has got to be the cutest thing that the president could possibly do. Put some candy on top of a minion's head, right? You know, so I saw that. I go, does he do it again? And of course, the guy retweeted, he goes, he fucking did it again. Let's see. I want to see him do this to the minion. Look at that. Look, so now this kid, is dressed as Marshmallow. You familiar with Marshmallow?
Yes.
You actually know you're so out of the loop on the pop culture and shit.
That I do know who Marshmallow is.
When you hit me with the yes, it surprises me. I go, oh, shit. She knows one? Okay, there we go. Well, you listen to that Marshmallow, it's like, I'm so in love.
Actually, the reason why I know it is probably like 3 or 4 Halloweens ago, a kid on our beach trip dressed up as Marshmallow, and then it kind of clicked.
And he was gay.
He was a little kid.
He was a little gay kid.
Sure.
He dressed as Marshmallow, you gay. You know? And you remember what I said last episode. If I think you're gay, you're gay. I'm sorry. You know? So the kid was gay. Nothing wrong with it. We've talked about it a million times. There's nothing wrong with it. So this little guy is dressed as Marshmallow, right? And Trump just sees this as like, oh, this is the perfect flat spot for me to put a big old chunk of candy. And he's got one of them fat old Wonka bars. Like, this thing looks like it's got a golden tick. I got a golden tick. And this is my favorite part. when he goes to do it, right? We'll show it from the beginning. It's like a 12-second clip. You can see it from the beginning. I love he goes to do it, and the kid's like, wait, what are you doing? And he like goes to like tilt his head up, and Trump starts tapping the top of the marshmallow head. He goes, no, I'm putting it up here. He goes, fuck what you heard. I'm putting it up here. You know what I mean? I love that. The kid is like, wait, what's it? Like, watch him. He goes to tilt his head up. He's like, what are you doing? Trump's like, taps the top of his head. He goes, this is where the candy bar is going. Whether you like it or not. America first. Okay. Look, watch. Now the kid, you see the kid? He goes, what are you doing? What are you doing? Trump's going to start tapping. He goes, this is my will, so it shall be done. Okay? And then he just shoves them off. He goes, get out of here, kid. He goes, I already put the candy on top of your head. The kid doesn't even know if he got any candy or not. The kid's like helmet, his head has to be a good 6 inches from the top of the helmet, right? So the kid don't feel if the candy bar is like, he don't even know if he got any candy. As far as the kid's concerned, he just got gypped by the president on Halloween. That's a hard feeling to have as a little daddy, you know, even if it's for a couple seconds, because of course somebody's going to tell him, no, the candy's up here. To have that 5 seconds of devastation, the president just shafted me on Halloween. To think, what can be go? This kid's going to be the next Charlie Kirk shooter off of this shit. Look, and then the banana comes up, and Trump's wife, just like a normal person, she goes, here you go. Just puts it right in the trick-or-treat bag. I love that. You got to give it up for Trump, dude. You got to give it up for Trump. That is so fucking funny, dude. On Halloween, nonetheless. Now, here's the thing that got me about that clip was I couldn't tell if it was like, if the music was what they put behind it when they posted it, or if that was like just what was playing at the White House when they were because you know they do that weird shit at the White House. It'll
play
be
music throughout
the
whole
weirdest
place.
fucking kind of music that you could possibly think of. There's like, this is I don't know. They're like, oh, we're doing Easter egg hunts at the White House, and it's playing like Victorian era fucking orchestra shit. You're like, dude, this is not Easter music, bro. Like, you know, so that's like.
They were handing out candy out of Easter baskets.
Yeah, and they're playing Met Gala music while they're doing it, nonetheless, right? You know, it's like, come on now. You know, they always do this weird shit at the White House. Here's another one. We got a lot of good.
Fancy.
It's supposed to be fancy, of course. I understand. If anybody understands, I understand. You know, so we have a lot of good stuff on today's show. You know, a little bit of Nick Fuente. He's my main man, my Nick Fuente. You know, this guy Nick Fuente, him and Tucker Carlson getting together, having a little podcast after having a little beef with each other. We're going to dive into a couple clips from what the beef started, or when the beef started, and then their fucking interview together, which ended up being lamer than hell. You know, what are you pointing at? You just agreeing with me. I like it.
Yeah, well, and also I'm getting to see the before clips that I don't know about yet.
Yeah, you never got to see Tucker actually call Nick out like that, right? So we got a little bit of Nick Fuente. You know, we're about to dive into a clip of Ronda Rousey talking a little bit of shit on Joe Rogan, which of course I love. Anyone talking shit on the powerful JRE, I always get a good kick out of. And then our second main story we have is a little bit of Kill Tony. It's going to be Roseanne Barr and Pauly Shore on Kill Tony, you know. A lot of good stuff on today's episode. Big show. You know, it's like how Nick Fuentes does his intros. As soon as you hear that big show, you know that the episode's about to start. It's America First, baby, with Nick Fuente. You know it's going to be good because he says it's going to be good.
Big show.
I never heard, I listen to a lot of podcasts. Especially for this show. None of them say that it's going to be a big show when you're listening to the podcast, no matter how big the show actually is. Joe Rogan has the biggest show. You never hear Joe Rogan say it's going to be a big show when he starts the show. I am starting to lose faith in the fact, are they even big shows? Is it even a big show if the host doesn't say that it's a big show? That's the question. You know, it's kind of like one of those, you know, existential questions that I have from time to time. Is the show actually a big show if the host doesn't say that it's a big show. And speaking of big shows, like I said, Rogan, I was talking about Rogan, and I came across this clip while scrolling through Twitter yesterday, right? I love anyone who takes shots at Rogan. This one especially resonated with me because this is an MMA fighter taking shots at Rogan, right? And Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan is so many things. A lot of people don't give this guy credit for a fucking 5'2" monkey. Joe Rogan does a lot of shit. He's a comedian. He's a podcaster. He's an MMA expert. He announces the fights. He's a philosopher. He's sitting in his room at night going, oh, man, I wonder what the world is like. Is space cool? I don't know, He tells the same story 6 times over again every episode of the show, Rogan's a lot of goddamn things, right? When you hear an MMA fighter taking shots at Rogan about his MMA expertise, this I like, because who better to critique the quote-unquote MMA expert than an actual MMA fighter, in my humble opinion. Allegedly, allegedly, So let's listen to Ronda Rousey. I have a feeling it's going to be good. What's Ronda Rousey say?
Is there a price point that would get you back in the octagon?
I mean, I have everything I want. There's nothing that would really change.
You hold up. I know I'm stopping this like real fast. He goes, is there a price point that will get you back into the octagon, right? He says this to her. This bitch looked like she never left the octagon, in my opinion. She has the blackest eye I've ever seen on any human being. You trying to tell me she has not been in the octagon? Who's whipping Ronda Rousey's ass like that? Not in the octagon. Is she getting fucked up at home? The trouble in paradise? I don't know. This is what I'm saying. This is why I go, wait a minute. You saying she ain't in the octagon right now? And listen, she's going to go, you couldn't pay me enough to do it. Now I just do it for free. I just fight homeless people on the side of the street in Los Angeles. We're bringing bum fights back. This is Ronda Rousey's mission.
My life.
Let's do price points on this.
Okay, $1 billion.
$150 million.
$1 billion.
$350 million.
Billion.
You're just fighting Burt Kreischer.
All right. I will beat the shit out of you in your backyard for this house.
How long?
Yo, Ronda Rousey used to be like the baddest bitch like in MMA. Like I remember being like, yo, I will stick it to Ronda Rousey. Like I will do things to Ronda Rousey.
I'd be a pedophile for $20 million.
I used to say that about Ronda Rousey. I would be a Ronda Rousey pedophile, not a regular one, but for $20 million, like Ethan Klein, allegedly. Yeah. But I used to think that. Now she looks crazy. Like she looks like, even take the black guy out of it, she looks like insane, kind of, right? I might be tripping. To me, she looks like a crackhead, kind of.
I mean, she could be a little bit more put together.
And I guess I'm being unfair. I'm probably being unfair because she's been through a lot. Like at the end of her career, she was getting her ass whipped, like left and right. It was like girls were just piecing her the fuck up to the point to where she'd be like in the ring, like she don't know what's happening. Next thing you know, she gets a shin to the fucking mouth and she's gone. I feel like that will do something to you. It might restructure your face or something. You know what I mean? Like I could be, I'm kind of fucking being an asshole here. Sorry.
All right. I will beat the shit out of you in your backyard for this house.
How long do I get to train? I was just talking to Joe on the walk over. How long for me to train to beat Ronda?
Ooh, now I like this. He goes, I went and I talked to the foremost MMA expert that I know, Mr. Joe Rogan, the powerful monkey experience, Mr. JRE. So now I want to know, what does Ronda have to say about Mr. Rogan and his expertise on the fighting? This is where she starts taking the shots. And I like this.
That'll never happen.
He wouldn't know. He's not an expert. He's a fan with an audience.
Oh! What the fuck? Look, and Bert is looking at her like, he goes, bitch. He goes, you trying to get me in trouble? He goes, you trying to get me in trouble, Joe? I'm supposed to be playing the mothership, the comedy spaceship. I'm supposed to play the comedy fucking the comedy battleship. I'm supposed to play that next month. And you fucking up my whole thing. He's like, Rhonda, chill, yo. Look at Bert's face. Bert's like, I do not know what's going on. He tries to play it off by laughing. I like this.
That's interesting. Is that how you feel about
See, now here's the thing. This is what is so telling about. You might not see it as much as I do. I see it, and it only happens every now and then. You get these like light, like these little beams that come through of light, right? And those beams are shining the truth. It only happens every now and then in the Rogan sphere. You catch a little beam, you know, a little truth, and then it disappears. Just as fast as you saw it, it's gone. This is one of those beams of truth right here. You may not notice it if you're not tapped into the Rogan sphere, if you're not paying attention enough. This is one of those beams of truth that I'm talking about. When people take digs at Joe, and comedians who are very good friends with Joe start laughing their asses off about it, right? What does that say? That says something. To me, that says something. It says that you've always wanted to say some shit like that, and you couldn't. And now that you're finally hearing it out loud in a public forum where you know Joe has the potential to hear it, you go, this is the greatest thing in the fucking world. It makes you laugh your ass off. It's like, you know, seeing your boss get what's coming to them or something like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things. This is good. This is Bert. He's finally hey, for once in Bert's life, he's being fucking genuine and authentic. You know, it's like, you don't get to see this a lot. You know, laugh it up, Bert.
With an audience.
That's interesting. Is that how you feel about
Is that how you feel
Never
about
fought.
Joe? Okay.
He fought Taekwondo, right?
Never fought. That's not fighting.
Oh, whoa. A woman, a taller woman than Joe Rogan. Joe's probably at home losing his mind over this. Because now Joe's like the most right-wing thing since sliced bread. You know, because sliced bread is right-wing. If you're buying sliced bread, you're Republican. As far as I'm concerned, you're Republican if you're buying sliced bread. So Joe is like the furthest thing right since sliced bread, right? And to hear a woman say that you ain't fighting, you're fighting Taekwondo, that's a bitch's martial art. She's saying like this about Joe. I like this. And Ronda Rousey would probably fuck him up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Joe can kick through like a brick wall, though. For being 5'2" and having 19-inch legs, they're thick. His legs are thick. They're thick. So he might, you know, if he kicks Ronda in the shin a couple times, he might tap her. You know, I don't know. He might tap her.
It's not fighting.
Well,
It's not fighting.
I'm going to exit this conversation.
He has to.
I don't want you to get any bad DMs. We need to get out.
Is there a
Love
price
it.
point?
Bad DMs. But I mean, Joe will take everything from Bert. Joe gave Bert everything. You know what's funny is like this is actually a little, you know, inside baseball. Not really. If anyone who listens enough will know this information. For you, it's inside baseball because you don't know shit. I'm just like, you actually don't know, but that's good. This is the dynamic that we have, and I love it. But Bert, he built his whole career off of this machine story. You remember we tried watching that movie together? I believe we tried, no? We're going to try. Trust me, it's bad. I tried. I couldn't make it through. Maybe I could make it through with you. I don't know. It was shit. So Bert, he made his comedy career off of this story that he had where he was like the machine. He was doing this Russian shit where he was studying abroad in Russia. And somehow through some crazy party weekend or something, he ended up robbing a train with these Russian mafia guys, right? I still don't think the story's true. It is what it is. I don't care. But that was like his biggest bit in his comedy for like the longest time.
Oh.
And
So he's saying this really happened.
that's what he's saying.
Okay.
All right. Now, when he used to talk about that story to Joe when Joe first started his podcast, and Joe would be like, you got to tell that story on stage. And Bert was too afraid to tell it on stage. He's like, nah, people will think it's crazy or weird or they won't believe it or whatever. He listened to Joe, and that was kind of like Bert's most famous bit for like the longest fucking time. Kind of was like the foundation of his comedy career in a sense. Joe gave that to Bert. So if Bert is caught laughing or talking shit with Ronda Rousey, you know, he has to exit that conversation.
For
you know,
sure.
because the next time Bert needs to borrow money because he drank it all away, you know, Joe's gonna be like, "I'm sorry, man. Okay, you're talking shit about me to Ronda Rousey on a podcast? Can't do it, bro. Can't do it, man. I'm Joe Rogan. Got tiny legs, you know." So let's move on to my man, Nick Fuente. Let's give it up, Nick Fuente. Big show tonight. You know, America first. Nick Fuente. This guy, Nick Fuentes, if you don't know him, you better look him up because this guy is slowly creeping his way into the zeitgeist. You know, I spoke to this a little earlier. This Nick Fuentes, you see that? He's already got me doing the Hitler-esque, you know? But he's so slowly soaring his way into the zeitgeist. This Nick Fuentes, I'm telling you. Just like I said last time we talked about him, whether you like it or not, soon the people that you least expect to be talking about this guy or knowing about this guy are going to know. It's going to be inevitable. This guy is on Tucker Carlson. He just had a podcast with Tucker Carlson. I'm sorry. If you're having a podcast with Tucker Carlson, you're rich. I mean, that's it. You're rich. And if you're rich, you're part of the zeitgeist. I mean, I don't know what to say. You have to be, right? At least in my opinion, in my naive mind. You're part of the big picture. If you are a rich man on Tucker Carlson, you're part of the big picture, you know? Because Tucker's about as mainstream as it gets, whether you like it or not. He used to be a news anchor on a major network. That's mainstream, you know? So all those fans, they carry over. And you've seen the ads that Tucker has on his goddamn podcast. Only the whitest and richest of them are listening to fucking Tucker Carlson Network.
Even his little diamond logo thing is like, it resembles some other.
It screams
rich people.
gated community. Yeah. It's got gated community written all the fuck over it. He's got ads for like the most premium dog food. He's got ads for like fucking doomsday preppers, like 3-month meal kits and shit. You know what I mean? This guy is like, yo, Tucker Carlson here. Have you ever thought about insuring all the gold that you have locked in your safe in your wine cellar? You know what I mean? Like, he's doing ads like that. Those are important people.
Yeah.
Listening to that show, right? And now you got a guy like Nick Fuente on that. That's mainstream. That's about as main as a stream could possibly get. Now, this podcast, you know, it was a long time coming because they had this squabble. You know, Tucker started talking shit about Nick out of nowhere. Nick started talking shit about Tucker. They started back and forth on their shows, you know, and just like dogs barking on the opposite side of the fence, they're pretty loud when it comes to that, you know, the individual talking shit. The second that these guys sat at a table together, I go, what is happening here? These two guys are acting like pussies. All of a sudden. I go, Nick Fuentes isn't taking any goddamn shots. What's happening here? This isn't the Nick Fuente I know. The Nick Fuente I know jump across the fucking table at him. You know? Fuck his whole shit up, this Tucker Carlson. You know? So I wanted to start at the beginning of the beef. I wanted to show you the beginning of the beef, right? And show our listeners the beginnings of the beef. It started with Tucker having an interview with Candace Owens, right? And out of nowhere, Tucker's just calling Nick a fucking little gay kid living in his basement in Chicago. You know what I mean? That's harsh ass words. All because what? Because Nick had some questionable things to say about Tucker Carlson and the things he were covering on his show. He's like, come on, bro. Can't handle a little shit talk. And when you hear the way he says all this, that's why I say you can't handle a little shit talk. It's one thing to be like, oh, the kid talked shit about me on my show, so now I'm going to talk shit back, right? Tucker starts raising his voice almost. He starts squinting his whole face like a little kid. He goes, and this gay kid is like talking to me, and I don't even have any zins. You know, I'm going to sit here and take this. You know, listen to this.
Okay, has it occurred to you that, and I just want to say, I haven't watched a lot of Nick Fuentes in my life at all.
You will. Trust me, you will. You'll watch a lot of it. Okay? You'll watch enough of it to have him on your show. Look, this was only a couple months ago, dude. He's saying this. Let's listen. I'm sorry, Tucker. Let me let you finish.
And I just want to say, I haven't watched a lot of Nick Fuentes in my life at all. But what I've seen, the guy's very talented. Like just as a well, let me just say this: as someone who's talked to cameras his whole life, it is very hard to sit and just like riff for 20 minutes. And I think it's an amazing skill, and he has that skill.
I did it for 3 hours at a pop. Before you came onto this show, I sat here like this with these 3 cameras. I talked into them for 3 to 3.5 hours every single week. Do you know that? Isn't that insane? I'm talented as fuck. Not only did I do that, I controlled all the angles. Look, I'm doing it right now. I'm messing with these angles right now. I'm doing it all from this desk. I do the sound bites. I go, what the fuck? Oh, this guy's crazy, right? I must be the most talented fucker on the fucking planet if I'm doing that. Why don't I have Nick's audience? I'm jealous. Nick, call me.
But I also have noticed that his targets are all people who are sincere, non-crazy, non-hateful opponents of neocon politics.
Right.
So you have to kind of wonder about that. So Nick Fuentes is like, oh, I don't like the neocons. But then his targets are J.D. Vance, Joe Kent. He got involved in Joe Kent's campaign with a super. Oh, yes.
Yo, Candace is hands down the whitest black bitch you know. She is the whitest black bitch in the world, bro. Like if she had a nose job, like I would think that she was in blackface. Like that's how white she is to me. You know what I mean? Like the blackest thing about her is her nose. I don't want to sound weird or nothing. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Sometimes you have to call a spade a spade. I didn't want to sound weird about that either. You know, because spades are also black. But you get what I mean, though. You get what I mean.
You, me, and it's like, what is that?
Dave Smith.
Dave
and I asked him about that because that's a question that I had. So I did the right thing by asking him to his face. What's up with this? Like, why do you attack Dave Smith? You say that like your biggest critique is that America's being controlled by Israel. Then you have Dave Smith, who's been such a sound voice. And by the way, opposite experience with Dave Smith. I have my podcast. He's a fantastic human being. I judge
Dave
people.
Smith is one of the nicest people.
Fantastic
ever.
human.
Yes.
And so I judge people according to
Jew.
My
Dave Smith's a Jew. That's why Nick don't like. No, I'm just joking. You know, it's funny. I'm going to show you some clips later. Nick is sucking all of these people's dick, with the exception of Candace. Candace really dig Nick dirty. She had Nick on his show or on her show, just attacked him the whole time. Apparently, I couldn't make it through the interview. I fell asleep. Not gonna lie, I fell asleep. Apparently, she attacked him, and you know what? I'm inclined to believe Nick. Because me and Nick are, you know what I mean? Me and Nick are close.
experiences with them. And so Nick is being judged according to my experience with him. And
but like, what is this?
I don't get
Where
it.
does
I don't
the funding
understand
come
it.
from? I probably shouldn't even say this, but the only reason I know who he is because someone sent me a video a few years ago of him attacking me. And I was like, so I'm looking at this. And I'm like, well, first of all, this kid's really talented, like legit. And I can assess that just having done the job for so long. So it's like, wow, lots of
So now Tucker's sitting there going, oh, the kid's talented, you know? I could tell you because I've sat in front of a camera many a time in my day, you know, criticizing all sorts of people in powerful situations. I'm Tucker Carlson, you know? If I was Tucker, I would lie and say that I wasn't fired from the network. I would say I quit. And then when people go, well, why'd you quit? I say, because they wouldn't let me zin on the job. You know, I say, if I can't zin, I'm Tucker Carlson. I can't zin, then what do I have left, you know? So now Tucker's about to start digging into Nick. Listen to this.
talent, native talent. And he's attacking my dad.
Uh-oh.
As the CIA, his dad's in the CIA or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's no, untrue. And my father.
Nick proved it. Nick actually proved that Tucker's dad was actually in the CIA, dude. And then what you saw the clips that we watched of Nick talking about this, right? Mm-hmm. With the guy that was at the rally thing that questioned Tucker. He goes, your dad was in the CIA. What's Tucker's response? He goes, my dad's job is not relevant. You bring my dad being in the CIA up again, I'll kick your ass. You know, Tucker goes, I'll zin and I'll fucking kick your ass. You know, I'm Tucker Carlson. Tucker, when he gets mad, I just picture him doing that. That's like rich white people shit. They go, I'm crazy and I'll kick your ass. They do that all the time.
Who dies, and I learn, actually, was involved in that world. completely shocked by it. So no one has to believe me, but that's just a fact.
Right.
This was in March.
That's Tucker hedging his bets right there. He goes, I didn't find out my dad was in the CIA until after he died. Yeah, I was shocked when I found out. That's him he's hedging the bush. He's going, just hedging his bet right now. I didn't find out my dad was a CIA agent until after he died, even though I was an investigative journalist and lived with the guy for half my life. Never figured it out.
Of this year. And I'm like, well, how the hell would this child from Chicago, my dad was 84 when he passed. Like, who does this guy know who my dad is? And like, he's in intelligence. How would he know that? And
Wait, so that was his critique of you? Because I didn't see it.
Someone just sent me this video and it was like, you can't believe anything Carlson says because his father was in the CIA and he's a CIA working on behalf of the CIA. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, and I actually feel emotional in my anger towards CIA. And I think that comes out on the air quite regularly.
Right.
And so the idea that I'm working for the CIA is like deranged.
Well, if it helps, he said I'm funded by Russia now. Since the interview, he then did a thing and said I was funded by Russia.
But you would be a lot more likely to take Russian money than I would be to work for the CIA, because you would never take Russian money and you're not Russision.
Look, even Tucker can't help himself. Even the person he's interviewing, he's throwing backhands at. He goes, well, she goes, yeah, Nick accused me of taking Russian money. And he goes, well, if anybody was going to take it, it'd be you. It wouldn't be me. But even you wouldn't take it. But if it was going to be one of us, it would be you. It's like Tucker's whole thing. He goes, I'm good. I'm good. I don't know about you.
But I mean, I really hate the CIA. And I mean,
right.
That's like very offensive to me. So why would you?
It's like personal for you.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
And anyway, like, who is this kid exactly?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just an accident that the guy exclusively goes after people who are in roughly the same. And then he gets up there and he's like, making Holocaust jokes. And it's like, is it possible that this is like David Duke? And David Duke, every time I had a new show, David Duke would endorse my show. I don't know, who the hell is David Duke? Well, David Duke is obviously part of a campaign to discredit people on the right, obviously.
Mm.
And I think it's very obvious that Nick Fuentes is exactly the same. Doesn't mean everything he says is false. It doesn't mean he's not talented. He's enormously talented. Doesn't mean he's a bad person. I'm not attacking him personally, but he is clearly part of a campaign to discredit non-crazy right voices.
That's
okay. This is awesome, but I need you to get to the point now, Tucker, please.
Invite him back for dinner. That's how good of an experience I had.
It's clearly it's
and then
sad.
It was a 180. So it's either A, it's being driven from like a little boy insecurity, and he just was so worried that he like just went on the attack because he doesn't know how to have normal relations after being banned everywhere.
Well, I think there's that
could be one element.
The angry gay kid thing going on.
Yeah, or it's what you're saying, where he does this, he's lying to everybody and pretending that things are one way when it's not. I can say
why is he attacking Joe Kent, who? I mean, Joe Kent worked as a CIA contractor, paramilitary contractor. He was in the U.S. military for years fighting our neocon wars.
Is this guy called fucking Nick gay or not? God damn it. Did I get the wrong goddamn time code? Holy shit. Call the guy gay.
We'll say, I don't understand it. We were very kind to him. Like, I truly, like, we almost said, like, we felt maybe he was a bit lonely. We should invite him back for dinner. That's how good of an experience I had.
It's clearly it's
and then it was a 180. So it's either A, it's being driven from, like, a little boy insecurity.
Oh, my God. That's how far we watched this goddamn clip. It went that into the second time code. Holy shit. Just get to the point.
Can say
why is he attacking Joe Kent? And his wife was killed in Syria in one of those wars. Joe Kent is the single most sincere critic, and I would say the one with the most credibility in the United States to say this foreign policy is bad. It killed my wife. I was a part of it. Joe Kent is actually someone the CIA doesn't like at all because he...
Okay, you suck Joe Kent's dick. We get it, dude. Like, can we get to the point?
Chicago, to go after some child at all because he understands how it operates. And for Nick Fuentes, who's like some child from Chicago, to go after him specifically, one congressional seat in Washington State.
Uh-oh.
It is random.
It's getting revved up.
It's not random, though. It's the opposite of random. Joe Kent was number one on the list of people they wanted to knock off, people who believe in our neocon foreign policy. They wanted Joe Kent out because he could stand up and say, I actually know. I've got the receipts. My wife was killed in Syria. You had to take that guy out. And Nick Fuentes, this child, this weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago, is participating in a super PAC to bump off Joe Kent. Like, I've been around this my whole life. I know what that is.
Look, you see how he does this. He goes, this weird little gay kid from Chicago. It's like he's doing the rich thing. He's like, I'll kick your ass, you know? But all this over attacking a guy named Joe Kent. I don't even know who Joe Kent is. I wipe my ass with Joe Kent. I have no idea who Joe Kent is. Cheeks, as far as I'm concerned. He's ass cheeks, as far as I'm concerned. But you remember, I showed you that clip of Nick responding to that. Nick was bugging the fuck out in his little basement in Chicago. You know, Nick was gay as hell, and he was freaking out in his little basement in Chicago, just like Tucker said he would. You know what I mean? Nick was pissed off of that shit, right? So that's how it kind of started there, and isn't that crazy? Tucker's sitting there taking shots at Nick. I explained it. You know, I prefixed this by saying, oh, Nick was criticizing Tucker for it. Actually, Tucker was criticizing him all because what? He criticized some other guy? You know what I mean? It's like, now you got to pick your battles at that point. When Nick Fuentes comes at you and those groipers start groiping you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those groipers groip you, and that's it. You know, you have to hit him with
what a name.
a groiper.
Groiper.
A groiper, right? Isn't that insane? A Nick
It
Fuentes
sounds
fan.
pretty Jewish.
That's a Jewish thing. That's the most Jewish thing I ever heard. You know, there's a lot of Nick. You're gonna come down to. It's gonna come out that like Nick has been secretly Jewish this whole time. I'm telling you, he's gonna be like a secret Jew. He's got Nick J Fuentes, Nicholas Jew Fuentes. Are you trying to tell me the J doesn't stand for Jew? Okay, fat chance, right? Not only that, I already told you the guy's got 41 goddamn interns working for him. He don't pay a fucking not a one, right? Pretty Jewy. Pretty Jewy. You know what I mean? That's pretty Jewy to me. You don't pay your employees, right? Now, what's this? Your fans are called groipers? That's the most curmudgeon shit I've ever heard. You know what I mean? That's the most oy vey shit I've ever goddamn heard in my goddamn life. The groipers. And those groipers, when they groip you, that's it, you know? Tucker taking shots at Nick like that for no goddamn reason, right? So then, look, they have this little powwow. We're just going to briefly touch into this. This is them, you know, having a little chat with one another. You know what I mean? This is them having a little bit of a powwow, right? Look. Now, Tucker's going to ask him. He's going to be like, yo, why are you going after Joe Kent? This same guy that he got done hating on Nick for, calling him a little gay kid in his basement for and shit like that. Tucker's going to come back for seconds. Nick likes to say this. He comes back for seconds. You know, Nick says this. Nick Fuente, he likes to say this. So now Tucker's coming back for seconds. He's going to hit him up again and go, why are you talking shit about Joe Kent? Huh? Both of them fold like fucking like a house of cards. They both are all calm with each other. That's what I expect. I expect him to be like, yo, you're a little gay fag. And I got zins. I'm tough as shit. I'm Tucker Carlson. I'll kick your ass. You know? That's what I'm expecting from Tucker. It's nothing. Tucker doesn't have no attitude.
What's that water bottle he's got?
Tucker's?
Yeah, is that his Zen?
That's probably his dip. No, Zen is spitless. I don't know where. Yeah, that's probably like actual dip. Well, now Tucker doesn't Zen. He moved on to a different company called like Alp. I think he started the company.
So it's dip.
Maybe maybe Alp is like actually. I don't know nothing about Alp. I know Zen. You don't spit. You don't have to. And if you did, it wouldn't come out any weird color or nothing.
That's gross.
So maybe the Alp stuff that he's pushing now, maybe that's what's all nasty and brown. That looks pretty goddamn rough. That is a pretty goddamn rough, right? So look at the way these two are looking at each other. Tucker's staring off into fucking space. Nick is staring into his eyes lovingly, you know? And they're not going to get an attitude with each other at all. I was pissed about this.
Landscape now, and the people I see as, you know, I'll narrow it down to foreign policy. Okay. Who is effectively opposing neoconservative foreign policy, which has been the dominant foreign policy of the United States for my entire life, which has been so destructive, I think, and I've seen it. Who are the voices who are sincere in their opposition to that and who have some ability to change the country's orientation on foreign policy? And those would include Marjorie Taylor Greene, J.D. Vance, Matt Gaetz, me. But you've attacked all of those people.
Yeah.
Why would
I love that. Tucker lists off, he goes, yeah, in the time that I've seen your show, you've attacked this person, you attacked that person, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Tucker's like, I would like to fuck Marjorie Taylor Greene. He goes, you attacked me, He attacked all of us. Nick just goes, yeah. That's it. He doesn't even try to, you could sit there quiet. This is probably the ballsiest thing Nick did in the whole interview. He just says, yeah, I did. You know what I mean? He goes, you attacked all of us. Nick just goes, yeah. Next question. You know what I mean? I like that.
Matt Gaetz, me. But you've attacked all of those people.
Yeah.
Why would you, and almost Joe Kent, those strike me.
Fuck Joe Kent. Nobody gives a fuck about Joe Kent. Why does Tucker care so much about Joe? Why? Because his wife died in Syria? People die in Syria every fucking day. Who gives a shit about Joe Kent?
As someone who's really interested in this topic, I'm not that interested in the Jews, but I'm very interested in the foreign policy question. Those seem like the most sincere people. Those seem like the only hope of the country to get away from this destructive, really self-destructive cycle. Why attack them?
Asking it like an awful big bitch compared to that last time code we just saw. Tucker was wearing practically the same outfit. Talking in the same den. They're in the same spot. With the same glasses of water and shit. This is the same glass of water Candace had. It might not have even moved. It might actually be the same glass of water. Tucker might have just left it there for all 2 months. Because I feel like white people do that shit, right? That's some white people shit. You leave a glass there for like 2 weeks, you go, it's just water. Knock it back.
Maybe not 2 weeks, but yeah.
4 days.
Maybe.
White people shit. That's a new segment on the show. We're going to call it White People Shit. No, I'm just kidding. This is white people shit right here. Nick Fuente and Tucker Carlson doesn't get any whiter than this. This is a classic avoid confrontation whiteness right here between the two of them. These two, you saw Tucker. He's a little gay kid from Chicago. It's like, and now you're talking to him like this? Okay.
Well, in short, they attacked me first.
They attacked me first. And he's right. Tucker, we just watched Tucker call him a little gay kid in honor of Joe Kent. I don't even know. Nobody cares about Joe Kent. So as far as I'm concerned, you got everything Nick had coming to you.
Like, who cares?
Well, let's take Joe.
Listen to that. I'm sorry. I got to rewind to that. So Nick's response to that, he goes, well, in short, everyone that you just listed off, they all attacked me first. So I responded to them. Tucker's reaction to that, he goes, yeah, well, I mean, but like, who cares though? Yeah, we all attacked you, but why don't you just let it go? What do you mean? Just let it go. Like, what do you mean? That to me is like so crazy. He goes, yeah, I'm going to list off all these righteous people. We're all fucking really righteous and awesome. Why'd you attack us? Well, it's easy, Tucker. You and everybody else on that list, you guys came at me first. Well, but so? What are you talking about, but so? It's like, this is why I say Nick needs to jump across the table and fuck Tucker up. He don't do that.
Cycle. Why attack them?
Well, in short, they attacked me first.
Yeah, but like, who cares?
Well, let's take Joe Kent.
I mean, you attacked me.
Yeah, but like, who cares? What do you mean? Yeah, but like, who cares? So now Nick is just sitting in his little basement being gay, minding his own business, right? And he's just getting fucking straight bullets, and he just has to take the shit. I understand he's a piece of shit and nobody likes him. Okay, I get it, But somebody goes at you. Come on, you can't even react to it as far as Tucker's concerned. He goes, yeah, but like, who cares? You know? And Tucker included himself in that list. So it's, yeah, I talk a lot of shit. It's like, just let it go. You know? You hurt my feelings when you talk shit about me. When I talk shit about you, you just
Let it go.
deal with it.
Yeah.
You know? I'm gonna zen.
Constantly.
Well,
and I'm like, I don't really give a shit. I want to meet the guy.
You attacked me first too.
No. But what I'm saying is I'm not whining about it.
Sure.
I'm just saying, like, so, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't.
So, you know, I'm not whining about you talking shit about me. I'm just asking you about it. You know, I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and and you know, it's been on my mind. So I figured I'd ask. You know, and that's where we're here now. But at the end of the day, I don't care. You know, and then
It just keeps me up at night.
it just keeps me up at night a little bit. You know, but it's not bothering me. It's no skin off my back. You know. And then Nick goes, well, you guys all came at me first. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I got to defend myself. He goes, yeah, but you really don't have to defend yourself. You can just lay down and take it. You know? Why don't you just do that instead? And it's like the whole interview. It's the whole shit.
I'm just saying, like, so, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't say so because, like, take Joe Kent for instance.
Uh-oh.
I supported Joe Kent, and I talked to Joe Kent. I got introduced to him by Matt Brainerd. Matt Brainerd went to my conference. And
So we can't do this whole thing, you know, because we have a huge Kill Tony set. We have big show coming up, you know. But we have to blast through the rest of the Nick Fuentes time codes, right? Because this interview, he's just gonna have a regular old conversation. I would expect him to be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna attack you. I'm gonna attack you right now." And then Nick pulls out a knife, and he goes, "My last name is Fuentes, so I got that Latino in me." He pulls out the knife on Tucker, you know, because that's how we do to the whites. That's Latino. Pull out a knife on you, say, "Give me that money," you know, "Give me that money." I got cuchillo here. Cuchillo is Spanish for knife.
Okay.
I got cuchillo. Dame dinero. Me tengo cuchillo. You know, I fucking kill you. That's how we do. So let's get through these other Nick Fuentes time codes. This one's going to fuck you up. This one fucked me up. Because Nick Fuentes is like slowly becoming like a hero of mine, right? You know? And this one really got me. So you see this right here. Nick Fuentes streamed gay porn. Now, obviously, this is on a different set, so this is an older video. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about this, though. Before I wish somebody would have told me about this before I listened to hours and hours on end of Nick Fuentes. Now I come to find out he's gay. You know? Now I can't listen to the guy. Can't put America first with a cock in your mouth. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But no, it's funny though. So apparently, what had happened to this guy, right, is after his live stream ended,
He forgot to turn it off.
I guess so. Well, that's what it came to appear like, right? That he forgot to turn off his live stream, and
show we love you. I'll
we'll see what ends up playing after that
see you
live
tomorrow.
stream's
Until
over.
then, have a great rest of your evening.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo.
There it is. Look, it's still going. Sounds a little off, right? Now look at the chat. Look at the chat real fast. Watch, look. You're gonna see. See how it's going? What the fuck? Whoa, right? This is, you could tell that it's sped up because the voice is like pitched up, you know what I mean? So you could tell it's sped up, but it sounds like somebody going like, oh fuck, right?
Right.
What do you think the people are hearing right now? You know? Look at the chat. Watch. Now look, it's full-blown gay porn.
What the fuck?
Full-blown gay porn blasted on Nick Fuentes' stream like this. This was my hero, man. I couldn't believe this when I saw this. I was devastated. Oh no. Nick Fuente, why, dude? Yo, his chat. Think about what a groiper, like think about the type of person a groiper is, right? That sounds like the most. If you got fans that have like a name like that, that's like, I mean, I don't want to jump on the same train as everybody else, but that's like Nazi, right? It's like
Right.
very specific to your group. It's like Nazi, Groiper, Black Panther. You know, that's gang. That's gang affiliated. You coming off like a gang to me, you know? So I hear Groiper, I think, yo, you're doing a lot of gang shit. And then you hear the stuff Nick talks about, you go, damn, they probably hate gays, secretly love gays, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Is
that's
that
what
how it goes?
that's what Groiper sounds like to me. It's like one of those people that gets really pissed off about gay stuff and then is hanging around shady parts of town at weird times of night
Doing the gay stuff.
doing the gay stuff. You know, that's what I think, you know, it's Ethan Klein.
I'd be a pedophile for 20 million.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, allegedly. You know, but that was him. That was his actual voice. So that wasn't alleged. He would actually be a pedophile for 20 million. You know, according to himself. He cannot sue. Those were his own words. So now this gay porn's blasting on Nick's stream. Watch the chat, dude. The chat starts going nuts. They're like, what is happening? My eyes, my fucking eyes. All of them start losing their minds, bro. I forgot that the fucking volume gets all retarded. Look, the chat is hacked. People are going hacked. Turn this shit off. Wait. All these question marks. Someone just writes, okay. That's it. Okay. That's it. You know, hacked. Looks like a hack. What the fuck? Dude, the Groipers in the chat bugging out. Now, wait, you're going to see somebody in there's going to be like, I can't believe my eyes. Like, somebody's going to be like, what is happening? Look, oh my God. Turn this shit off. Look, hold up. We got to go back to that. Look at the name on that wrote what the fuck, right? Groip and Grope is the name of the person who's chatting right now. Groip and Grope. Because that's what the Groipers do. They groip and they grope you and they, you know what I mean? They get you like that. That's how they get you. Those Groipers. I picture a Groiper, it's like a zombie. Like, if you get groiped by the Groiper, then you become a Nick Fuentes fan. Like, it's like you can't avoid it. You know what I mean? You get infected. And then little by little, you start listening to America First every fucking weekday. Monday through Friday, you're in the America First chat. Next thing you know, you're joining the tier. You're in the chat. You're donating. You're doing super chats. You're fucking ding. Hey, Nick Fuentes, it's good to have you on the show today. It's nice to see you. You know that the super chat goes?
Oh, yeah.
God damn. Look, right here, they wrote, my eyes. Wait, hold up. Where is it? I just saw it. Somebody wrote, my eyes. Watch. Pay attention to the chat when it goes down to the right-hand side. Look, someone right here. My eyes, dude, right here. My eyes. You can't see it that well. It's so fucking funny, dude. Look, it's going to come back right here. My eyes, dude. And they wrote eyes in all caps, bro. You gotta love that, dude. You gotta love that. Keep watching it, the chat, that is. Yo, people, this is what I'm saying with people. They think they have like such a crazy relationship with the people that they're watching. There's going to be people in the chat going, oh my God, somebody call Nick. Like as if somebody in the chat has this asshole's fucking phone number. Like, you kidding me right now? Look, somebody writes, I'm not watching this garbage. I'm not watching this. So many people probably think this is like legit. You know, maybe it is. You know, I don't know. Nick probably beating his dick like it owes him money right now. You know, because you can mute, you know, you mute the mic and then you could be, you know what I mean, to the gay porn. And they could see it on the screen, but they're not going to hear you because the mic is muted. So Nick could be back there fucking his whole junk up. You know what I mean? Just beating the hell out of that thing. I don't know. Look at that Squidward meme. Oh my God, dude. That is so. Someone writes, that's fucked. That's something I would say. That's fucked. Look, need to burn my eyes with bleach. Somebody writes in there. I want to see the one where somebody writes like, oh my God, call Nick. Somebody call Nick. Look, now they turn. Oh, look, right here. Hold up. You're going to see it go up a little bit. Can someone text Nick? They write in the chat down here. Can someone text Nick? Okay, let's give it up. Let's give it up for that super chatter. What's their name? I can't even read it. The picture quality is so good. This thing is like 3 pixels.
I think that's the one that said my eyes. I think it's the same person.
The same guy. Robo bitch. That's a robo bitch, bro. That is so hilarious to me, dude. And then apparently I looked into that. Apparently he had like tweeted after and was like, "Oh, my account got hacked," or some shit like that. It was something or other like that.
Well, that was easy to say since everybody was making that assumption.
Oh yeah, exactly. Everyone in the chat sitting there making that assumption. They go, "No way, Nick's hacked like this. I can't believe this." Hold on, we got some technical difficulties real quick, but it's not to worry because I'm good like that. You feel me? I just gotta wait until my laptop turns back on. But for the time being, we will be stuck at this angle only. Have no fear. This is the angle we like the most anyway. As long as we could see the TV, that's really all that mattered.
Yeah.
You know, so let's give it up for me for saving the production. Last minute, like I always do, baby. So now that we got all that Nick Fuente out of the way, I was going to jump into some time codes of Nick did a whole show after that Tucker Carlson interview, the nice one, right? He did a whole show just basically globbing Tucker Carlson the whole time, globbing Dave Smith. We just saw Candace talk about how much he was hating on Dave Smith and stuff like that. Tucker, that episode was nuts. Nick was like, Tucker graciously invites me onto his show. He sticks his hand out. He shakes my hand even, you know. He talks to me like I'm human, you know. Tucker's a fucking man. It's like, I was like, whoa. Nick Fuentes might be losing his whole ass mind right now. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on with good old Nick Fuente like that. But let's move on to our second main story. It's going to be Kill Tony. I like Kill Tony, dude. I like Kill Tony. It's my man. It's my man. My good old man, Kill Tony, is Tony H. Hinchcliffe. Imagine Tony H. Hinchcliffe.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy talk, bro. Your middle name begins with H and your last name begins with H. That's crazy. That's THH. You can't be. You know what I mean? You can't be like that. So this is another fine episode of Kill Tony. This is going to be with special guests Roseanne Barr and Pauly Shore. You know, I love me a good Roseanne Barr and Pauly Shore. So let's check it out. As always, we start our Kill Tony segments with a little bit of an intro. We check out Tony's gay outfit.
Hey, this is Redman coming to you live from the Comedy Mothership here in Austin, Texas for a brand new episode of Kill Tony. Get over Tony Hinchcliffe!
Ooh, Red Band coming in with a little squeak. You heard that? He goes, give it up for Tony Hinchcliffe.
Texas for a brand new episode of Kill Tony. Get over Tony Hinchcliffe!
Yeah. Nice little squeaker on my man. Look at that. Yo, Tony's ears look big as hell when he does that. You saw that? My man came out like Dumbo with them goddamn ears like that. You need to calm down with that shit. You need to calm down with that shit. Yo, his
It's
ears,
like he pulls them
they
out.
go from 0 to 100 real goddamn quick. And that's a blurry shot. And I can still see how wide those goddamn... My man took out the whole stage. He's like, You know, they say like a bird's wingspan, like it doesn't look like nothing. And then when they open them up like that, you go, holy shit, this fucking bird's wingspan is like 7 feet. You know, that's like Tony with his ears. Doesn't look like much when they're resting on the side like that, right? When he spreads his wings like that, that motherfucker could fly off those goddamn ears. Are you ready for the best fucking night of your life? Yeah. Of course, Tony with the gayest belt buckle in Austin, Texas.
Who's ready for the best fucking night of their lives?
Oh, he said it. He said it. Yippee! Yippee! Tony H. Hinchcliffe, let's give it up. Getting a lot of use out of the clap soundbite tonight. I like it, you know, because we have a lot to celebrate this episode. You know, big show. Big show, according to Nick Fuentes. My man, Nick J. Fuentes. You know, we love him. You hate him. And Nick J. Fuente, you know. But now we're moving on to Tony H. Hinchcliffe. So this episode was something else, man. You got Pauly Shore on here. You got Roseanne Barr. 2 comedians / actors who have not had good runs in the last couple of years. I mean, Roseanne got canned from her own goddamn show.
Before it really even
Yeah,
started.
the shit was like, she pulled like a Shane Gillis. They fired her before she was even on like the first episode almost, right? Like, the shit was crazy. And then they tried to keep the thing going without her. You cannot do a show titled Roseanne Barr with Roseanne without Roseanne. I'm sorry.
Well, they changed the name.
Did they?
It's the Connors.
Okay, yeah, because everybody's going to love to tune into the Connors. They never heard of that. You know, what was it? Roseanne Barr was probably on the air for like, 10 years or something like that?
It was a long time.
And then on top of that, people remembered it for over 20. So you got like 30 years of history behind that show. Let's change it to the Connors. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sounds good. You know, give that guy a raise, whoever that is in the studio. So we got those 2. Now, I expected the episode to be nuts out the rip. You know, last thing we heard, I had heard about Roseanne, aside from her getting canned from that show. Or maybe it was why she got canned from that show. Remember, she was like, I thought the bitch was white. You know, she was like talking about like saying the N-word or something like that.
I don't remember what she did. I just knew it was something racial.
Yeah, I remember that specific soundbite of her being like, I thought the bitch was white or some shit like that. So like that's what I heard. And then the last time I saw Pauly Shore, this guy was on Kill Tony, blitzed out of his goddamn mind. And, you know, in typical Pauly fashion, he delivers in this appearance as well. We're about to check this out. Pauly, right out the rip, he's so fucking high out of his goddamn mind that he's like immediately trying to take over the show. Tony's like, hey, man, I'm hosting a show here. Like, what are you doing? I did Mark Norman for Tony Hinchcliffe. Isn't that crazy? Watch, this is going to be Pauly taking the show, stealing the show from Tony, which I like. I would love if Pauly just did the whole show. You would get nowhere. You'd be like, it'd be like 2 hours long, and it'd be like 3 bucket pulls that would have gotten pulled out of that goddamn bucket. The rest would have just been out of space, like monologue from Pauly. I'm sitting here burping in it. I'm Bert Kreischer.
2 of the biggest comedy store icons, 2 of the biggest comedians, #1 movies, #1 show on ABC's history, the Roseanne fucking show. And she's here. Now she has the Roseanne Barr podcast, and Pauly Shore has Random Rants, his podcast. You've both been on this show before. Welcome. How you doing, Pauly?
Thank you. I'm fucking just happy I survived this weekend here at the mothership. We had some crazy-ass shows. I can't believe they have this particular club on this particular street in front of so many fucking bars, dude. How the fuck I get here every night is fucking beyond me, dude. They could have put this on Congress where we could have been liberal.
You ever go to say like what's up to somebody? You go like, hey man, how's it been? And they just fucking unload like a whole fucking thing on you.
Yes.
And you're like, I didn't really mean it. You know, when I was trying to be
good.
nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pauly's doing this to Tony right now. Tony's like, Okay, Pauly, you could do like a nice little intro real quick, let the people know what you're up to. Pauly's like, I've been having a really rough go of it, man. I can't seem to find my way around Austin. I'm high all the time. They got this club on this street and this bar in this town and this thing. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm Pauly Shore. He's like, yo, chill, bro. Like, just tell them, like, you got a podcast. It comes out on Tuesdays. Like, that's all we need to know.
I can't believe they have this particular club on this particular street in front of so many fucking bars, dude.
Yo, he needs to
How the
chill
fuck
with
I
that.
get here every night is fucking beyond me, dude. They could have put this on Congress where we could have been liberal little fucking queers out there and made it to the place on fucking time, dude. They made me ride the bull downstairs and they don't let me go through the back like fucking Shane Gillis, dude. They have me go for the fucking front, dude, and I got people pissing on me in there, so... And that pizza next door is fucking disgusting. But the good thing is...
He's still going. He's still going, bro. It's been like 45 seconds that we've been listening to this asshole go on. Tony's sitting back there, like, with his golden little microphone, like, yeah. Like, what are you doing? Tony's pissed right now. Tony is mad.
Is Red Band actually, besides being the producer, they'll give it up for Red Band?
Look,
Okay.
now he's throwing accolades out. Let's give it up for the guys. That's like going on Letterman as a guest and being like, all right, now we'll cut to commercial break. It's like, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing here? Holy shit! And look at this guy. Have you ever seen like a sadder fucking? This guy looks sad as shit. Pauly Shore. I hate it for him.
Yeah.
He's like that. You ever seen that white guy that beat that black dude up on the bus for like heckling some old lady or something like that? It's like an old YouTube viral video. You probably don't know about it because you don't know shit about the internet.
There you go.
But
there you go.
It was funny because it was like this old white like Vietnam vet or something. And this black dude was like being, it doesn't matter that he's black or not, but he just happened to be black. He was being an asshole on the bus. And he was like getting in the white dude's face. The white dude beat the shit out of him, like right there on the bus. And the black dude's like, somebody call an ambulance. And it became like a huge meme. That's how the video got popular, was the black dude being like, call an ambulance. Somebody call me an ambulance. Like, and then when they interviewed the white dude on the news, they were like, so what's been going on with you? He did the same shit. And he's like, my mama died, man. I'm all born broke. My mama died, man. And he's like crying on the news. They're like, yo, we just wanted to know about what happened on the bus. You know what I mean? Like, they were like, calm that shit down. Pauly's in the same boat as this old guy. Like, Pauly's like, my mama died. And Mitzi just died, like, this past year. So he's like, my mama died, man. My mama died. I'm at the comedy mothership. The comedy spaceship, the comedy cargo ship, anything but what it's actually called is what you should call it. You should call the comedy anything but the comedy mothership. That's what you should call it.
And actually, besides being the producer, they'll give it up for Red Band.
Okay. Are you all right?
Besides being here, the producer, he also does pedicab on the side. So I've been in fucking his pedicab because it's another job that you can drink and actually drive.
Tony getting
so
awkward
give it up
right
for
now.
Red Band and Tony.
Okay.
The boy,
I think it's pronounced petty carbs, by the way. He bicycles while eating.
Now look, Tony's trying to take the reins back, right? He throws in a shitty little joke. It's called penny carbs. I don't know why anyone would think that's funny. Why? Because Red Band's chunky? Okay. Red Band ain't even fat. They're constantly shitting on him for being fat. He's not fat. It's because he does fat shit. Red Band's the type of guy that will put like 3 Chick-fil-A sandwiches in a blender and like you'd be like, this is a milkshake. You know what I mean? And he'll drink that. Like, you're like, whoa, dude, chill.
Bite too. It's not a regular bite.
Definitely
so
an e-bike.
Thanks. I was really excited to have Roseanne Barr on the show because...
Are you the host tonight?
Uh-oh.
This was supposed to be like
Tony
a quick hello, and then we get to the thing. You have all these local jokes. You think the guy in Sweden cares about the pizza place next door?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yo, look at Roseanne. She's like, I thought the bitch was white. Oh, my God. And there's a black dude right behind her. She's probably on edge right now. She's probably, like, clutching her purse and shit like that. You know? Well, actually, because D Madness is blind, so she probably has like a little bit of. She goes, oh, well, he probably can't even see me, So she doesn't have to worry about it. She racist.
Yeah, but racist people like to pick and choose.
That's
who
true.
They want to be racist.
That is true. You know what I mean? I'm picking and choosing over here. As a bona fide racist myself, I can genuinely tell you I'm picking and choosing, all right? It's only the good ones that make it on my white list. Oh, God. I love that. Tony's pissed.
All these local jokes. You think the guy in Sweden cares about the pizza place next door? What the fuck are you doing right now? I'm glad that we're knocking it out early in the show so that I can set a precedent.
I took acid, which you're not supposed to do in 57, and I took a fucking Waymo, bro.
All right. Well, what? Well, now it's time to take a chill pill because I get to say hello to the queen herself.
I love how he's like, I took a Waymo, bro, as if it's like a pill. He's saying like, I took a Waymo like it's a drug. Do you know what a Waymo is?
Nope.
A Waymo is a goddamn completely self-driving car. It's like an Uber that'll pick you up, but nobody's in it.
Okay.
That's what a fucking Waymo is. He's sitting there saying, I took a Waymo like it's a goddamn Klonopin. He's like, I took a Waymo, bro. I'm fucked up, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, he said he took acid.
Yeah, but it was just the way he delivered the Waymo line.
I did actually think it was something.
You thought it was like a drug, didn't you?
I did, because I didn't know what it was.
He said it just like as if he took like the heaviest drug known to man. He's like, I took a Waymo, bro. I'm about to be fucking ripped, bro. It's like, you got a ride here? Is what you're saying to me? I get the acid part, but you're talking this Waymo talk like it's really fucking your shit up right now. It's just you got to drive from a robot. You know what I mean? You got to ride from a robot. Chill. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And look, that was 4 minutes in. Pauly's pulling this bullshit, right? It don't even give him a half an hour later. 22 minutes in. And Pauly goes to take it over again. Let's see him do it. Look at this. Tell me that ain't a guy he's primed to take over the goddamn show. This looks like a frame out of like one of his movies. This is Encino Man 2. You know what I mean? This is Biodome 17. Late soundbite. Let's hear it. Is it coming? It ain't. It's gonna go off right as soon as I start going into the next point. Let's listen to Pauly take over the show. I like this.
Do you mind if I read one of the jokes that you didn't do off the cue card? I tend to be a lot funnier with. No, give me the whole stack, Pauly. No, that's not how it works, Pauly. Again, I don't know if you're planning on doing this for the next 2 hours, you could shove that wig in your fucking mouth, buddy.
Yo, imagine talking to the Pauly Shore like this. If I was Pauly Shore, I'd be like, I was in Biodome, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, yo, I'm the fucking man, bro. Pauly should be living it like that. Like, Pauly shouldn't be, like, falling into the insecurities of his problem. Pauly should be one of those celebrities that is, like, completely oblivious to the fact that he has a problem. You know? I like a guy like this that has complete and utter confidence the whole way through. You know what I mean? To where you go, this guy's a problem. That's what I like. When I see this, Pauly can't be doing this tail tucked between his legs type shit, because that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to lean in to the fucking problem if you're a guy like Pauly Shore. Otherwise, nobody's going to respect you. It's obvious Tony don't. You know what I mean?
Well, he doesn't respect too many people anyway.
Yeah, it's because he's one of those guys. He's one of those pieces of shit that he lets his fame and his success get to his head. This is exactly what they like. Tony is a prime example of like when people say, "Hey, man, don't forget where you came from." This is a guy who forgot where he came from. You know, dude, I seen clips of Tony from like when he started. The shit was not pretty. Okay,
I've seen them.
You remember the live stream that I did the other night? I showed that clip of Tony when he was a doorman.
That's when I saw it.
Yo, my man was looking busted, was he not?
Yeah, he was.
He was looking busted as hell with that weird ass little hair tie in his shit. He had a little rat's nest on the top of his goddamn hair. Tony, yeah, for those of you listening, Tony used to have a rat's nest on top of his head. Now he got a little bit of money, hangs out with Joe Rogan, he's buying Rolexes. What a bitch. So now, look, imagine talking to Pauly Shore like that. talking to him like he's a child. He goes, no, Pauly, this isn't how it works. How it works is I make all the shots. You come on here, you act like a bitch because you're lucky to be on my show. And then that's it. You know, I just do everything.
No, that's not how it works, Pauly. Again, I don't know. If you're planning on doing this for the next 2 hours, you could shove that wig in your fucking mouth, buddy. All right.
Well, I don't know if you should do that, Tony. That's not cool. My name is Tony.
Nobody knows who you're doing an impression of, Pauly. I literally told you not to do that 2 days ago when you pitched the idea to me then.
What the fuck?
Excuse me. Excuse me. The Pauly Shore comes at you with some fucking creative notes and you're going to turn them down like that? Yo, Pauly was probably high as shit. Pauly was probably high as shit coming to Tony on some crazy shit. Like, imagine Pauly all cross-eyed. He's like, yo, Cowabunga, dude, I got this cool idea for the show. Tony's like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, you know,
I might be regretting
yeah,
this.
Tony's like, I don't know if I could even have you on, bro. You like might die on the show. You know, then we can't air the shit. And I have the queen of mean, Roseanne Barr. Yo, Roseanne was such a cunt this episode, bro. We're going to move on after this to some Roseanne Barr time codes, dude. Roseanne was the biggest cunt I've ever seen in this entire fucking episode, bro. This was wild.
Are you out of your mind right now? Pauly, take a sip of delicious water for a second.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see if we can make this funny. Definitely.
I think it's pretty goddamn hilarious. Look, Pauly goes, hey, girl, Cowabunga with the tits, man. He goes and gives her the water. Of course, she's going to lap it up.
Not that one. Okay.
Ooh. You just got AIDS. I hate to tell you, girl. I hate to tell you, we're playing this new game show. It's called You Just Got AIDS. You understand? And girl, you won. She won. Look at her.
Make this funny.
Let's watch that instant replay of her getting AIDS in the final moment to win the game show.
Definitely not that one.
And boom goes the dynamite. You just got AIDS. Congratulations. You just got Pauly Shore AIDS, my girl. Now, look, this is so fucking sad right here. That girl she goes up and is trying to deliver the set of a lifetime, right? And clearly it wasn't in the cards for this bitch. I mean, we watched it. She was pretty rough. I don't know.
Right.
I've never seen like negative sound in a room before. You know what I mean? Like I've heard quiet. I've heard quiet. I've never heard anybody bomb so bad that the sound went like negative. Like it was like sucking the air out of my ears. How much silence there was coming out of that set. I've never heard it so. It was the quietest I've ever. You could have slept like a king in that room. How quiet it was when she was doing her set. It was insane. I'd never seen nothing like it. Right? But she's trying. She's trying her ass off. And she had the cue cards so she didn't forget, you know. She was really, you know, putting her heart and soul into it. Roseanne Barr sees these goddamn cue cards, all of a sudden has the fucking biggest problem with it I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life. Watch this.
That's
with the T. You have to cross your T.
The question I'd like to ask is, well, there are several.
Get on with it, you old bitch. This is insanity to me. The question I like to ask. 35 minutes later. There are several questions I'd like to ask.
What's going on with her hair?
She is a crazy old bat. That's exactly what's happening here. You can't tell by the outfit. This is like what old crazy ladies do. They put on a bunch of fake gold. And they fucking wear, like, vests with, like, crazy pattern blouses underneath. You know what I mean? Like, old bitches go wild. And it's nuts. Like, I feel like every time I see an old lady walking around doing something, especially an old white, like Roseanne Barr, they always look like they just dove into the closet to get dressed. And then whatever stuck to them, they said, this is what I'm wearing for the day. You know? I'm dead ass. They look like old white girls like Roseanne Barr, like a very specific old white, not every old white, like a Roseanne Barr white. You know what I mean? Old whites like her, they dress like the aisle of a thrift store. You know what I mean? Like she looks like the aisle of a thrift store. Okay? This is everything you would see in a Goodwill is what she's wearing right here. You know? It's personified in this moment.
One, who told you you were funny?
Damn, bro.
I mean, seriously. And who told you were funny, really?
It's a good follow-up
There's a lot of white nerdy men in comedy, and when I walk in the room, oh, they just die. But I have absolutely killed it in rooms, so sometimes we bomb, sometimes we fucking kill it, and I have fucking killed it before.
Okay, but like, it doesn't seem like you have a lot of respect for comedy if you come up there reading notes. You didn't even fucking memorize your fucking shitty act.
It's true.
Now, this I had a problem with when I heard this. You didn't even memorize your shitty act. You bringing notes on stage, right? Now, if my memory serves me correctly, there is a regular comedian on the Kill Tony show, closes out the show almost every night that they do it, right? Guy brings notes up every goddamn set. As a matter of fact, I've never seen this comedian not read notes when he's doing his set. Never, not once. I've honestly never seen it. This comedian, his name is William Montgomery. The Red Machine or whatever the fuck they called the Memphis Magilla Gorilla or so. I don't know. Tony has like 18 goddamn nicknames for this fucking asshole. Every single time I've seen him on the show, he has notes. Now, Roseanne has a huge problem with this. Wait until we get to the time codes later when we see William again. The fucking hypocrisy that's about to come out of this bitch's mouth. Wait until you see how big of an issue she seems to have with a not famous person bringing notes on stage to do their set. Insanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
You can't go up there with, your shitty jokes wrote on recipe cards and read them off. I mean, that's rule number one. You should know that. You should at least memorize your shit, and get some delivery. Yeah. You ever heard of that? Delivery?
I have.
And also, a joke is a premise and then a payoff. Yeah. You don't even have any fucking punchlines.
I got you.
I mean, really, you I'm glad you're an influencer on whatever the fuck it is you do.
It's because she thick as fuck, boy. Girl, thicker than a fucking bowl of oatmeal. Roseanne jealous, in my opinion. That's what I think. I think Roseanne jealous because that girl walks into a goddamn comedy club and nobody paying attention to Roseanne on stage. A thick old bitty like that. And she ain't even that hot. It's just these comedy club dudes, they're fucking horny as shit. They see a thick girl like that walk in, they're climbing up that bitch's leg. Joe Rogan's on her like a monkey, like a little koala bear. He's stuck to her goddamn leg all night. She's taking it like a sport, though. She's a good sport about the shit. I'll tell you that, because I'd be mad as hell. Imagine a world where Roseanne Barr is just tearing you apart on stage in front of everybody. I mean,
after she already knows that she bombed anyway.
Exactly. It's like, talk about kick a fucking bitch while she's down. That is insane. Like, that's one of the main things I don't like about this show is that, like, they do it when, like, people are genuinely trying.
Yeah.
It's like one thing if somebody goes up there and they're making a mockery of stand-up comedy. This girl's probably a fan of the show, a fan of stand-up. She's probably trying her hardest. And she sees a guy like William Montgomery bringing notes on stage. And she probably goes, oh, well, if he can do it, I can do it. Right? At least until I get better at it, right? And then you get up here and probably one of your comedy idols is just fucking shitting all over everything you're doing. And not only that, but doing it in the most disrespectful way that she possibly can. It's like she's deliberately going out of her way to, like, take legitimate shots at this bitch. It's like, why? You're Roseanne. Like, you're obviously in a better spot than she is. Like, calm the fuck down. I thought the bitch was lying.
And my advice is don't quit your fucking day job, bitch.
Listen to this.
And I mean that in the best possible, most positive way I can.
Can I?
Direct, absolute.
And you follow that advice, and when I see you again, I'll have better things to say to you, but don't disrespect us with that shit just because you have a vagina. Okay?
And
period.
Wow. Roseanne Barr, ladies and gentlemen.
I love how
dropping knowledge.
And then the girl's clapping for her own. You clapping for your own execution, bitch. I'd be mad as hell.
She might be.
She probably is. If I was that girl, I'd go and like fuck Roseanne's son or something like that. You know what I mean? Then I'd go, yo, I'd be hacked, but I'd be busting your son shit down. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd be at Roseanne Barr's house, like, yo, what's up, mom? Like, that's what I do to get revenge, on Roseanne Barr. I'll fight. That's if I was me right now in my current body and state, and I got on stage, Roseanne Barr tears me apart like that, I'm fucking her son. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to fuck her son to get back at her. I have to wake up in the morning, go to make breakfast in the kitchen, run into her, in like my boxers, and be like, yo, had your son's ass smoking after sex. And I ain't talking about the cigarettes, bro. I'm talking about that ass. I had that shit smoking, bro. I was beating that shit up, Roseanne. I know you don't like the gays like that. Sorry, had to turn your son out. Had no choice. You tore me apart on stage like that. Look, now Tony, Pauly's still trying to take over the show. And Tony's pushing his boundaries, bro. I don't like this. I don't like the way Tony's about to talk to Pauly like this. Listen to this. This is wild.
Or Yvonne, this is normally only reserved for arenas having
oh
both of them
shit!
at the same time.
Yo, Kill Tony Sluts got me. Oh God, boy, I don't know, man. I'm chubby over here. I'm chubby over here. It's funny. Red Bar. He calls Heidi's this one in the black bikini.
Mm-hmm.
She's like the normal, like not normal, but like she's the one that's there normally. She's the regular girl that's there all the time.
Yeah.
This other girl is there like when they do like arena shows and shit like that. For whatever reason, they have her here tonight. But Red Bar, he calls Heidi the strong man. He calls her the Kill Tony strong man. Got to give it up for Red Bar, bro. If it wasn't for Red Bar, I'd have nothing. He bought me all this shit, He loaned it to me. He's Jewish, so,
Yeah.
I got to give it back at some point. But, I don't know if that day will ever come because I might convert to Judaism myself and then, all bets are off. You ain't getting shit back from me. So.
Oh my goodness. What did we miss? A tit pop out or something? What was that second pop for? Yes. How could I have guessed that a tit popped out?
Let's give it up to the Kill Tony band, killing it.
Oh, okay, we're gonna do that right now. Again, Pauly, I'm about to beat the living shit out of you.
Hey, yo, what the fuck, bro? Yo, this is Pauly's got to call security or something, right? Especially, dude, Pauly, like Joe Rogan is supposed to be like, yo, I love Mitzi. I do anything for Mitzi. I respect this bitch, right? And then you're going to let fucking Tony Hinchcliffe, the gayest man in Austin, Texas, which is saying a lot. You're the gayest man in Austin, Texas. That's pretty damn gay. To talk to your one of your heroes' child like that. The Mitzi, sure, you're going to let him talk to her son like that in your club like this. Okay. That's fucked up in my opinion. If I was Joe Rogan, I'd go and roundhouse kick Tony in his hip. You know what I mean? And knock him down a peg, get him a little bent. Have him walking like this for a while. You know what I mean? Just imagine Joe kicks him and it just dents his body. Like it just dents him, puts a big dent in him, like as if he's a car.
I swear to God, I'm about to beat. You're going to be the first guest I ever beat up during the show. All right.
That's when I pick up the mic. I go fuck yourself, Tony. You fucking gay muppet. You know what I mean? Tony has those big old fat lips like a muppet.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like one of them.
Back.
Look,
to the-
and then Pauly backs out. I hit play because I thought Pauly was gonna pick up the mic. He went and put his hand on it. You saw that, right?
Yes.
Poor Pauly, bro. And Pauly's higher than all shit, dude. Pauly don't know what's going on, bro. Pauly has no idea. So look, we got a little bit more time. Let's do. Oh, look at this. Let's check out William. Look, so we just got done watching Roseanne have a whole conniption, right? Now look, I that girl's cards were white. Williams are green. That's about as blatant as it goddamn gets. You couldn't be more attention grabbing,
right,
than having a lime green goddamn fucking card. And then you know what's crazy? When William tells these jokes, they're like paragraphs long. Like when you listen to this, they're like paragraphs long, right? He only brings one card out on stage. He must have like 40-40 vision, or what's better than 2020? You know, 1919, I don't know. Like, what's better than 2020? You know, he must have the best vision in the world, because the writing has to be so small for like these 5-paragraph jokes to fit on the card. And he tells them so fast. He goes, you know,
maybe he just needs the first little tidbit to get him started, and it just.
I don't know. William ain't that good, bro. William ain't that good. William is disrespecting comedy, in my opinion. In my professional opinion. I think William is the most disrespectful to comedy. Because not only did you bring the notes out, you brought him out on the most attention-grabbing paper you could possibly imagine. How does Roseanne Barr miss this? These cards. Because she's about to act like she ain't seen them. I'm going to tell you that right now. Watch this. This bitch.
Did y'all see that Dateline episode where a prominent housewife was murdered and the husband was having an affair? For once, I want to watch an episode where nobody dies and everybody lives happily ever after. Dateline, I don't see anybody going on no dates.
Did you even understand that? Did you even pick up what was happening about that? Now, mind you, jokes on stage, right? These aren't supposed to be like inside jokes, like, oh, only a couple of us get it. This is supposed to be making everybody in the room laugh. Like, yeah. I should be laughing now, is what I'm saying. Why am I not laughing? I'm being serious. Why am I not laughing? I think I have something wrong with me. I should go to the hospital. No, but in all seriousness, I could not. You just got done fucking speed reading a whole goddamn paragraph, and then you throw out one punchline. You're like, I ain't going to the hospital. How the fuck am I supposed to catch on to that? This guy. And look at Roseanne Barr having the fucking time of her life. I'll slap the shit out that bitch.
Welp, I got locked in the Abercrombie and Fitch store again. Okay, that's my time.
Okay, I got locked in the Abercrombie and Fitch store again. Big show, big punchline coming from William Montgomery. Let's give it up for William. Look, I have a William soundbite. I have a William Montgomery soundbite.
Yeah?
Yeah, you want to hear it? Mm-hmm. Let's check it out. Wait, hold on.
Is that really your fucking wife, dude? Yikes.
Not bad, right? You know, I'm going to have to play that next time Bill Burr and his wife are on the screen. Like, is that really your wife, dude? Yikes, bro. Bill Burr, poor guy, man. Everybody always clowning on his wife just for being black. A guy can't even be diverse anymore in 2025. You catch some shit even for that as a white. Imagine being a white guy, right? I can't think of anything more progressive than marrying a black chick, right? I mean, as a white guy, and Bill Burr is one of those like racist looking white guys. You know what I mean? So as a racist looking white, I can't think of anything more progressive than marrying a black chick, right? Still get shit for it. Ain't that crazy? Still get shit for it. That's everybody's number one trump card with Bill Burr. Bill Burr says one thing out of line, they go, yeah, your wife is fucking black. You know?
William Montgomery. Still got that little puppy cut.
Still got the puppy cut, Tony, and I'm actually really excited. My favorite video game. There's now it's Ghost of Yote. It's the second one of Ghost of Tsushima. And Tony, I've been having a wonderful time playing that.
Wow, tell us
I
what.
put 75 hours into it the past.
Whoa!
Look at how much Tony's sucking that dick, dude. Tony acts like he's like genuinely like interested in a video game. Tony wipes his ass with a video game. I wipe my ass with a video game. I say, is this a video game? I wipe my ass with it. You know, ain't no point in messing with a goddamn video game. And Red Band's the most excited he's ever been about anything in his entire life. He goes, you're playing that? And William's sitting there going, it's the Ghost of Shishimi. It's the Ghost of fucking California Roll. He's like, the Ghost of Sushi is the name of the video game. You know, it's like all this shit. Listen to the names. He goes, it's the Ghost of Shishimi. It's the Ghost of like tempura roll. You know, it's like he sounds like he's saying sushi shit.
My favorite video game. There's now it's Ghost of Yote. It's the second one of Ghost of Tsushima. And Tony,
this is all sushi as far as I'm concerned. He's playing a video game where you play the Ghost of Sushi. Imagine that. And Roseanne Barr loves you for it. She goes, hey, cue cards and all. You're all right. Not like that other bitch with a fat ass and big old titty. You know, not like her. You know?
I've been having a wonderful time playing that.
Wow, tell us
I
what.
put 75 hours into it the past 5 days.
Whoa, that's a lot.
75 hours in 5 days, Tony.
I've
been rowing a bunch of the row machine.
I've never seen those two that excited or quote unquote interested about anything in their entire lives. I've never seen it. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Show me your tits.
And then playing that now, I have a horrible knot in my back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. So tell us what exactly happens in that video game. I don't play video games.
I'm a Japanese lady and I roam around the countryside.
Just making sushi. I'm a Japanese lady. I roam around the countryside making sashimis and yotes and all these different rolls. You know, I'm making them for Chinese businessmen. Roseanne Barr, sucking on the dick. Watch, this is the next time code. I just wanted you to see that William had the cards, you know? Not you, the audience. Fuck,
right.
You know, we need to worry about them. You know, you already know. You've been here before. You've been here before. You know what's going on. But the audience doesn't. So I just needed them to see the cards. I needed them to see the cards because the way that Roseanne is going to glob this knob, right? You're going to think that she was blind, that the cards she never saw them. That's what you would think. Ain't no way you missed the goddamn lime green fucking cue cards on the goddamn stage. I'm William Montgomery. Yeah.
Jarro.
Roseanne Barr, the queen of comedy, one of the all-time goats of the
Amy Schumer is the queen of comedy. I just want to go on record saying that right now. Okay?
art form. You've seen the show. You've seen William multiple times. What do you think of him?
I love William. He's one of my very favorite comics. You are so funny and unpredictable, wild. I never seen nothing like you before in my life. And you have the best fucking pot in the whole goddamn world.
Yeah, we need to smoke later. And Roseanne, I'm going to be honest.
That's what it is. It's the pot.
Yeah.
That's why she's sucking his goddamn dick so hard. Because she can't find a good weed connect. All her people are the same age as her, so all they could find is like grass that you kick up in the front yard. You know, that nasty shit. You know what's wild to me is like people like they'll talk about, yo, man, we were getting high as shit in the 70s, man. We were smoking all the herb, man. It was like free love. And it's like, yo, weed was like 0.02% back then, bro. Like, what are you even fucking talking about? You know, it's like, that's why people were smoking so much of it back then, you know? Same thing with like Jamaicans, right? Everybody takes them as like these people are smoking the weed all day, right? They're all smoking trash. That's why they're smoking so goddamn much of it. Like you smoking a fucking blunt in Jamaica, that's like some homegrown. You might as well smoke a cigarette. You know, it's kind of like the same shit.
Yeah.
So Roseanne, that's all she's getting. She's getting a swag. So she needs to really be nice to William so that William will bring her another joint. Listen to this.
honest with you, I was heartbroken. One time you texted me to bring you a joint, and I brought you a joint, and I left it in the mailbox, and I was maybe hoping that we'd be able to smoke together, but I was looking through the fence for a while, and I was thinking, this is weird, and then I left. But I remember, I was thinking, oh my God.
Imagine so you caught what he said, right?
Yeah.
He put a joint in her mailbox. And instead of leaving like he said he would, he crept. He did a little creep. You know? Like TLC. And I creep. Yeah, just creeping on the down low. This is William Montgomery, not me. I'm not singing that. That's William Montgomery singing that. Outside of Roseanne Barr's house. So he's creeping in the bushes, right? Waiting. Imagine if she came out to grab the joint. What's he going to do? Jump out of a bush? Go, hey, Roseanne! He screams at her like that, like he always does. The Kill Tony band's behind him. They go, pow! Like they always do. When he screams, they go, pow! Right? Roseanne's scared out of her goddamn mind. She don't know what to do. Right? Or imagine this. He's creeping in the bushes waiting for Roseanne to come out. And she comes out all right. But because she's on her own fucking property, she comes out butt-ass naked. Right? So now William's in the bushes. He's stuck because if he goes out, then she's going to see him and he's going to be like, holy shit, you're naked, blah, 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 right? So he has to sit there and just be stuck in the moment. He has to watch Roseanne's nasty, saggy titties all bouncing and clacking back and forth. You know what I mean? She goes to the mailbox, pulls out the joint, tucks it under one of her tits. The tit goes over the joint. It's stuck there. And she creeps it back into the house. Because she has no pockets. How else are you going to carry the joint back into the house? Has to go under the titty. You know? One of them orangutan tits.
I didn't know you wanted to come in and smoke
Well,
it
I
with
should have
me.
been explicit about
We
that.
should have
Right, I didn't
said,
say
you said, I'll just drive it by and leave it in the mailbox. So I thought, oh, he doesn't want to come in and get high with some old bag.
Look at Pauly. He's like, man, nobody wants to smoke with me, dude. I'm all like cowabunga and shit, man. He's like, nobody wants to smoke with me, man. It's fucking bullshit, man. Now look at this. We're going to end it on this time code right here. I love this. I don't know if this is like Pauly trying to get some sort of revenge or if like he's just being like oblivious or whatever. Pauly's going to call something out and everyone's going to steamroll over this. I didn't. I caught it. I was there for Pauly when nobody else was there for Pauly Shore. Just like Tucker Carlson for Nick Fuentes, I stuck my hand out for Pauly. I treated him like a human being. I listened to him, you know? And I took what he said to heart, and I really fucking analyzed the situation. You know what? I'm on Pauly's side in this. Listen to what Pauly has to say.
Okay. I'm just saying that you've done this. This is such a beautiful thing. You opened for me one time in San Antonio, and you had just done this, and I'm like, you got to get off your notes. Remember?
Yes.
And he used to just always do his notes, and then he finally got rid of his notes, and he start.
Oh, well, look at William's face. Did I get rid of the notes? I don't think I got rid of the notes, Tony. Oh! You know? He's got a green fucking cue card right in his back pocket right now. William Montgomery. You busted. I hate to tell you, William. You busted. Well, we got you. Right here on Lost Sox Media. You heard it here first. This is an exclusive. It's a Lost Sox Media exclusive. Oh, yeah. Right? Something like that. Look at William's face on that. And, of course, Roseanne's going to hear this. Tony's going to hear this. Red Band's going to hear this. None of them correct Pauly. One of them you think would go, no, he still does the cue cards. He just had one. And then that would give Roseanne the opportunity to go, wait, what? Can you imagine? She got completely activated off of that. Like, he brings up the cue cards. Roseanne fucking loses her mind. She goes, he had what? He's disrespecting comedy just like that bitch with the fat ass. You know, he's like, she starts losing her goddamn mind. I like that. Look at William's face right there. I like that.
Yes. And he used to just always do his notes, and then he finally got rid of his notes, and he start featuring. And now you're headlining everywhere now, and it's beautiful. So I love to see it.
Headlining with the
Beautiful,
notes.
yeah, for real.
Look, he does a cue card like that for a minute, right? Just for a minute. Imagine what an hour would be. Imagine if he headlined a show. He pulls out like a scroll, like he's like in the fucking 1600s or fucking 1400s. He pulls out a whole ass scroll, just drops it down the whole stage. He's just scrolling it up as he's doing his comedy set. What the fuck is even happening here? That's what I'd be saying if I was in that crowd. I start throwing Rotten Tomatoes at him. You know, if you're going to pull out a scroll on me like it's the old times, I'm going to throw tomatoes at you like it's the old times. You know, that's what they used to do back then. You're fucking pulling out a scroll like this.
William, I mean, what an amazing, amazing time we always have.
I've never seen Tony look at somebody more love. Tony's looking at William like he's going to marry this fucking guy. Let's give it up. Let's give it up for Kill Tony, you know. I love me a good Kill Tony. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to end this one, man. This has been a great episode of Lost Sox Media. Big show. Big show. And we just started doing lives recently, and we're going to sprinkle those out every now and then. You know, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but keep your eyes open. If you want to hear about the lives when they're happening, make sure you subscribe and hit notifications. I normally don't say that kind of thing, but if you want to be in the know, you know what I mean? You're going to have to be in the know, you know, and to do that, you got to subscribe. Okay. I'm sorry. So as always, this is the worst part of Lost Sox Media. The end. Be sure to catch episodes of the show every Wednesday. We upload audio versions of the show at 4:30 a.m. Every time I change that time, it's 4, it's 4:30, it's 5. It's never after 6. I'll tell you that. You can catch the episodes bright and early so you can watch them or listen to them on your way to work. And then we upload the video episodes at 4 p.m. same day. That way, when you get home from work, you can watch them. Isn't that nice how I do that? I do that for you guys, for the people. For you, the people. So, until next time, I bid you adieu, and I bid you goodbye. See ya.